Hey folks, Ed from TOTALmtg, and I'm back with more Magic Arena. Now this video is being sponsored by Wizards of the Coast, and I want to give a big shout out to Michelle from Wizards for selecting me as one of the featured creators this week. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity you've given me, and I'm definitely going to try to make the most of it with this video here. Now, I've done a previous video, which was also sponsored by Wizards, where I took a Abzan Bugler deck that was created by Matt from TOTALmtg, and if you haven't checked out that video and you haven't checked out Matt's channel, link is going to be appearing on screen that will take you to that particular deck tech. And I've been enjoying that deck a lot. I don't get to play a lot of Constructed, so it was a fun little departure from what I usually do, and I want to try to do more Constructed gameplay, but I don't have a lot of time to do brewing. So I usually look towards Matt's channel for interesting deck tech videos because the man is constantly brewing new and interesting decks and making videos about them. So if you haven't had a chance, definitely check out his channel. Now, I was using the Abzan Bugler deck and I quite enjoyed it. I showed 3 games that I did with that particular deck, and I was torn with this video. This is sort of the feature day that I'm supposed to be doing a Magic Arena video. And I was torn between doing a draft, which I quite enjoy, and it's usually what I do on Magic Arena, or doing one of the Constructed tournaments. And I've decided I'm going to go with the Constructed tournament because I've been enjoying the Abzan Bugler deck, but I also wanted to sort of tweak it a bit. So I went ahead and made some changes to the deck. Not a ton of changes, I don't think. There are actually a lot of cards which are in the core deck that are still in this deck, and I'm calling this Abzan Bugler 2.0 because I suck at coming up with names. So for the most part, I'm just going to go through this. Once again, if you haven't seen the original video that sort of showed what cards were in this deck or checked out Matt's deck tech, you may want to do that first, because I'm just going to gloss over the cards that were in the original deck, and I'm going to talk more about the cards that have added into the deck now and why I've decided to add them into the deck. So we have still Llanowar Elves, only 3 copies as opposed to 4 before. The Merfolk Branch Walker, which works well with the Wild Growth Walker. There's still 4 copies of each of those. Assassin's Trophy, Find and Finality. These are all cards that were in the original decks. I just sometimes have tweaked the amount of these cards that are in the deck. The Militia Bugler, which gives the deck its namesake. Now, you're going to also see there's only 2 other cards that need white to cast them. And an argument could definitely be made for completely removing white from the deck. However, the Bugler does something which I haven't been able to find a replacement for, and its ability to look at the top 4 cards of your library and you can reveal a creature card with power 2 or less and put it into your hand. That's important for this deck. There's been so many times where this card, I've been able to actually chain Militia Buglers over and over and over again to fill up my hand and fill up my board rather quickly, especially late in the game after like a board wipe or something like that. So I haven't found a replacement for Militia Bugler. If you guys know of something that maybe I could put into this deck and completely take out white, please let me know in the comments section below. But for now, the Bugler is definitely here, even though he represents a very small percentage as far as the color wheel in this deck. There's 4 copies still of Jade Light Ranger. It's a great card. One of the other white cards which I've added to the deck now is Settle the Wreckage. So the main reason behind me adding Settle the Wreckage was because I was running into Carnage Tyrant an awful lot. People who were playing decks similar to this were running Carnage Tyrant, and its hexproof ability made it very difficult to get rid of, and it being such a huge nasty creature, if you can't get rid of it, it could really end up turning the tide in your opponent's favor. I also, for a while when I was doing testing with these tweaks, had added Cleansing Nova because of its ability to destroy all creatures or destroy all enchantments. Because I was running into Conclave Tribunal, for example, an enchantment removal. So there was a couple games where I had 3 or 4 of my creatures all taken out by enchantments. In the end, though, I decided to take out Cleansing Nova and just keep it as 1 copy of Settle the Wreckage because I wasn't running into those sort of situations too often. And then there's stuff like Assassin's Trophy, which can target permanents. There's also, I'll show you later, but Vivian Reed is in this deck as well too, and she's able to target enchantments as well. So there are other ways of removing enchantments in this deck, and I'm not super crazy about a board sweeper which is going to take care of all the creatures because this is largely a creature-based deck. Last thing you want to do is have to wipe your own side of the board as well. Plus you have something like Finality, which a lot of the time can wipe out most of the board but still leave you up a couple creatures, and I thought that worked a little bit better than Cleansing Nova in a lot of situations. Still trying to decide whether or not to put that 2nd copy of Settle the Wreckage in because Carnage Tyrant does pop up quite a bit, but for now there's just 1 copy of it in the deck. Next we have the Ravenous Chupacabra, which was one of the original cards from the original deck. Beast Whisperer. Now, one of the cards I removed from the deck was Mentor of the Meek, which allowed you to pay 1 extra mana if a creature with power 2 or less entered the battlefield, and then you could draw a card. It only costs 3, but Beast Whisperer I found since including in the deck. I now have 2 copies of it to replace the 2 copies of Mentor of the Meek that I took out. I find this card to be way more useful than Mentor of the Meek. Now, it's whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card. So you no longer have to tie up that 1 extra mana. Yes, this does cost 1 extra mana itself, but I think that's a small price to pay in the long run, because this card has drawn me so many cards mid to late game. So I have found this to be one of the sort of the better changes that I've made so far. Also, with its 2 power, it can still be grabbed from the top of the deck by Militia Bugler. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this particular change. Now, another change I made is I've added 2 copies of Gruesome Menagerie. Now, it is a 5-cost sorcery, 3 and 2 black. Choose a creature card with a converted mana cost 1 in your graveyard, then do the same for creature cards with 2 or 3. Because we have so many creatures on the low end of the mana curve, this is extremely useful, because those creatures go right from the graveyard into the battlefield and their abilities all trigger. So there were times where I was able to grab a Llanowar Elf and a Wild Growth Walker, and then a Jade Light Ranger. So the Llanowar Elf is just because it costs 1. It's the only creature that costs 1. But when Wild Growth Walker and Jade Light Ranger both enter the battlefield again, Jade Light Ranger is going to explore, and it's immediately going to trigger Wild Growth Walker. So it's like being able to cast both of them at the exact same time, and you get like an elf sometimes in part of the deal. You can also bring out the Bugler, which can find you another creature, or even just like the Merfolk Branchwalker. I've found this card to be very, very useful, especially once again mid to late game, where it looks like you're getting low on life total, and then all of a sudden you can do the combo of bringing out a Ranger and a Wild Growth Walker at the same time, and it really swings things back into your favor. Now, another change that I made here is I removed all the copies of Vraska from the deck, and I now have 2 copies of Vivian Reed. Her +1 ability of being able to look at the top 4 cards of your library and then grab a creature or land has been very, very useful. It's very similar to Militia Bugler, with the added bonus of you can also grab a land, because there are times where you need that 6th land in order to cast Finality or another card I'm going to show you in a little bit. So either of those situations is covered by Vivian's Reed +1 ability. Her -3 ability is extremely useful as well too, because it allows you to destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Now, granted, you would prefer it if it was sort of unconditional when it came to destroying any type of creature, but this is useful. As I mentioned before, I've run into a lot of enchantment removal, and this helps get that off the board. There's also a lot of pain in the ass enchantments that could hit the board, and if she's out there, she's able to deal with that as well too. It's a -3 ability, but still, she's able to do it right when she comes into the battlefield, and she'll still be able to live because she'll have 2 loyalty left. Her -8 ability actually triggers more than you may think. So you get an emblem with creatures you control, get +2/+2, have vigilance, trample, and indestructible. So if you are able to get her to 8, a lot of the time in this deck, actually, I don't think there's been a single time where I've been able to get her 8 and haven't then won the game. So no longer are your opponent's going to be able to remove your creatures, and vigilance and trample +2/+2, it's nuts, especially with such a creature-based deck. And like I said, you'll be surprised how many times you can get her to 8 before the end of the game. Next up, we have the only other card in the deck which requires white to cast, and it is the Trostani Discordant. This is one of the cards which was in the original deck. It's also one of the reasons why I took out Mentor of the Meek and decided to replace it with Beast Whisperer, because if this is on the board, a bunch of your creatures which were previously of 2 power are no longer 2 power. They enter as 3 power creatures, so it wasn't able to trigger Mentor of the Meek's ability. So once again, she's very, very useful. As well too, just her ability to create the 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens can be have a huge impact on the board. One, they become 2/2s right away, and also later in the game, if you're a little bit low on life, they're going to help you gain a bit of life back. Even if you just need to use them as chump blocking, you can swing away with them just to gain 4 life if you want to. So yeah, overall, I find this card to be useful. I'm still fine only having 1 copy of her in the deck. However, the next card is one where I do currently only have 1 copy, but I'm really, really trying to figure out a way to get a 2nd copy in this deck, because Azoni Thousand-Eyed, she costs a lot. She's the highest cost card in the entire deck, at 6. She's also one of the original cards that Matt included in the Abzan Bugler deck. But I found this card to be so useful when she can hit the battlefield, but because there's only 1 copy, a lot of the time I can't get her when I really, really need her. So I'm trying to figure out one of the cards I can maybe remove. I was even thinking of removing one of the Ravenous Chupacabras and trying to put in a 2nd Thousand-Eye. So her abilities are incredible. Her just being able to create all those tokens late in the game, and then sacrifice any creature you want to gain a life and draw a card. Very, very useful. The drawing card ability, not as important now that I've included Beast Whisperer, but still, I'm really trying to figure out a way to get another copy of this card in the deck. So there you go. Those are all the cards. Those are all the changes or the tweaks that I've made. And the only other change that I really made when it came to the mana base was I added 2 more swamps to sort of compensate for some of the extra black costs that I have in this deck. And I removed 2 of the Temple Gardens because I don't really need as much white as I did previously. Now, in my testing so far that I've done with this deck, I find, at least when it comes to single game matches, that it's weak against blue. A lot of control decks, it can be kind of weak against. Now, when it comes to best 2 out of 3 matches, that's sort of a different story because you can build this sideboard and there's a bunch of cards I know I can add which will sort of even the odds and give me a better chance of beating those types of decks. But when you have just sort of like a single game match and you're not able to sideboard things in, like after the first game if you lose, it's really not super effective against blue. So that's just something I have to know. I have to try to like completely aggro out any sort of blue deck and get ahead of their abilities to get the counter spells they need in their hands when they need them. That includes both regular blue control, blue-black control, even the Izzet Blitz that has a little bit of the backup when it comes to counter spells and burn. I find it can be a little bit weak against that. Speaking of decks that also have red in it, red aggro. Red aggro I find to be a difficult deck almost regardless of what deck you're playing. So it has a fairly decent record against red aggro, but red aggro is still very, very much a problem for this deck if I don't get like the sort of like quick out of the gate start that I really want with this deck. Oh, and speaking of red aggro, I have considered adding copies of Golden Demise to the deck. Now, if I had a sideboard, if I wasn't going to be doing single game matches, I would probably have at least 1 or 2 copies of this in the sideboard. But against red aggro decks, this could be very, very useful. It's another double black spell, but we've already compensated for that with adding extra swamps. And it's even not that difficult to get up to the Ascend level with this deck by having 10 permanents on the board. So it's something I've been considering. Still not 100% sold on it. Let me know what you guys think, if you think it's sort of a good addition to the deck or not. But I can see it definitely helping with red aggro. And a lot of the time, most of my creatures are going to have more than 2 toughness anyways. So it's not like going to be a board wipe even before I hit Ascend, which is going to affect me too heavily. So once again, it's something I'm considering. If you guys think it's a good idea, be sure to let me know. Okay, so I think that's enough talking about the changes to the deck and possible changes in the future that I can make to the deck. Let's get behind the wheel of this beast and take it for a test drive and see how it does in one of the constructed tournaments. Okay, so this is... I do not like this opening hand, so I'm going to mulligan this. Oh, as you can see, I am going to be on camera for this tournament here. So it was something I was sort of on the fence about whether or not I was going to do that. I guess I could keep this. I mean, there's nothing to activate them, but if anything shows up, it could be great. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this. Anyways, yeah, in the comments section, some people suggested that it is a little bit more interesting for you to be able to see my reactions. So if this guy throws down a mountain, you're going to see a wonderful reaction from me right away. We do get to play Land of War Elves first. Okay, so it's green. So this may, I mean, it's way too early to tell, but this may be a mirror match. I'm going to pay the 2 life so I can get Land of War Elves out. Because we only have the 2 lands right now. And then we can get one of the Wild Growth Walkers out and even just swing in with Land of War Elves. Nope. Oh yeah, so maybe this will be a mirror match. I'm guessing if it is, maybe not a mirror match, it may not be an Abzan deck, but I mean, it's definitely going to be, you know, black-green. So I'm guessing they're going to run Carnage Tyrant because that seems to be the usual thing. I've never considered adding Carnage Tyrant, though, to this deck. I'm not sure why. I'm not super interested in it. I think here I'm going to go ahead and have this enter tapped and then bring out one of the walkers. I'll still be able to get in because I'm not going to throw away my walker to the 3/2 here, but... And another one. Okay. So it would be really great if we could draw into one of our Explorer creatures right now. That'd be super great. Nope. Okay. Well, it's fine. It's fine. Didn't want to cast that creature anyways. So we're going to bring out... We'll swing in with a walker. Yeah, we'll swing in with a walker here. Don't think they're going to block. Okay, and then we're going to bring out... Maybe I should hold one of them back just in case. Nah, I'm going to bring out both. I'll bring out both. Because this will be huge if we do get to draw an Explorer creature, so let's hope we do. And I can't see them being able to board wipe this anytime soon. Jade Light Ranger. I really, really would love to pull one of those next turn. Real cards. So they're going to have another one on top of their deck. Great. That's good for them. Not so good for me. Part of me wonders if I should double block this to get rid of one of them off the board. I'm not gonna do that now, just in case I draw something that I can explore. Well, Vivian's useful as well too. So let's bring Vivian out, and then maybe we can draw into one of those explorer creatures that we have hanging out here. Yes, we do. Jade Light Ranger, perfect. So next turn should be really good for us. We'll be gaining 18 life? Unless they can somehow kill us here. Out of nowhere. I'm even willing to let Vivian go. If they decide to swing in and target Vivian, I may let them go. Good game. Okay, so am I dead? Am I dead, or are they... Or are they giving up? Okay. Whenever an opponent says good game that early on, I'm always... Because there's been plenty of times where I did not think my opponent had the ability to kill me, and then out of nowhere, they're just able to completely destroy me. So... do I want to get rid of... I could put one in front of it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. If I'm going to let her go, I'm going to let her go. Yeah, no blockers. No blockers. I'll let her go.
I'm not losing.
That's fine. She did her work for us. So we got this. We don't have a white source. Ugh, that's one of the bad things about, you know, still having the Bugler in there, even though I've taken out a lot of the white sources. So, that will go on top of the library, because we could definitely use the removal. We also have Assassin's Trophy, and because we have another land now, we're going to be able to bring that out if we want to. Actually, we would have been able to anyways, because we had the Llanowar Elves. So I think I just go ahead and swing in with all of the walkers, because there's no favorable blocks for them. So damage, and I'll bring the land out, and I'll keep Assassin's Trophy sort of close to the vest for now, just in case. But I think we might have this in hand. I could be wrong. Like I said, I've lost from much better positions before. Though being at 30 life right now is pretty nice. Okay, so they're not going to swing in. We can go ahead and Chupacabra. Yeah, we can Chupacabra. That one there. And then we still have up for Assassin's Trophy. So, combat, attack. So, 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, we could swing in for lethal, but they're definitely going to block something, so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to swing in with this, and then I'll hold up, and I'll do Assassin's Trophy if they decide to double block one of the walkers. Or I actually may just let one of the walkers go at this point. Okay, so they're not going to double block. That's fine. And just end turn. In case they have a scary thing hit the board next turn, Assassin's Trophy should be able to take care of it. I think we've got this in hand, because this even survives finality. So there we go. Excellent. Whew, okay. So my opponent wasn't able to get their walkers out. And that's the whole difference in this. I was able to get 3 of the walkers out early on. Made a huge swing when it came to the life total, and also with the bodies I was able to swing in with. So that's the power of those walkers. They're able to come back out of nowhere and just completely flip the game back into your favor. Okay, so at least we know we're not going to walk away from this being just completely blank. We are at least going to have one win out of this. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to pay the 2 life for the Temple Garden and hope it's not an aggro deck. So I can get Elves out, and then Jade Light Ranger on... Yeah, so let's do this. Let's pay the 2 life, bring out the Elf, and then we got Wild Growth Walker and one of the Rangers, so it should be pretty nice for us. Don't know what my opponent's playing. They're going to ruin my day if they throw down an island. That's just as bad. That's pretty much just as bad. So let's do this. Let's put the other tapped land down as well, too. Just have it enter tapped, bring out the walker, and then pass the turn. Okay, so the is it blitz style? Guessing they're going to take out the ranger? I mean, why would they not take out the ranger? Yeah. That sucks, but, you know, once again, I mentioned this before. It's weak against any sort of control-y deck that uses blue. But let's go ahead and see if we can't find something else with the Bugler. Beast Whisperer. That's fine. There was our copy of Settle the Wreckage. I don't think that's going to be super useful. We do have a chance to get that back, because there's going to be times where our library is going to be shuffled, so... You know what? I'm gonna have this enter tapped. Enters tapped, and then I'm gonna swing in with these two. Okay, there's like 0 chance this resolves. I can almost guarantee you, yeah. Sinister Sabotage. No, that's not super surprising. Now, I could Gruesome Menagerie just for the J-Light Ranger next turn if I wanted to. I mean, I could have done that this turn as well, too, but I'm kind of hoping that they'll tap out. Okay, so there goes Gruesome Menagerie. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but, I mean, we're still ahead on board state, though they can easily burn any of these things out. We got Assassin's Trophy. So... bring this out, and then we'll just have Assassin's Trophy on tap. I don't think Assassin's Trophy is going to be quite as useful. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. See, now, why couldn't we have a decent creature now that we know they're definitely not going to cast a counter spell? That would have been wonderful. Okay. So no attacks. Combat. I want to hold back the chapel just in case I have to discard something. Like, unless I get to choose what I'm going to discard. Okay, that's fine. So let's just put a swamp out to make up for the lack of a dual land, because I have enough green sources, so I'll just bring another swamp. My opponent, I'm guessing, has had some really, really bad draws, unless they're just setting up for something which I don't fully grasp. Okay, well, once again, I'm sure this is going to get countered, but let's go ahead and swing in with everything first. Maybe they'll cast something. Okay, so that will resolve, and that's fine. They gain 2 life. Damage goes through, and then I can Beast Whisperer. There we go. So that works out well. Once again, holding this back just in case they make me discard. I don't want to have to discard the trophy. So they took 2 from that. I can't imagine why. Unless they have something huge in their deck. Okay, well, that's why. They wanted the extra bit of card draw. So we're going to bring out a Bugler. Hopefully we can grab one of our... Wow! Holy cow! I can't believe we got blanked there. I don't think I've ever had that happen with the Militia Bugler. The one time we have a window of opportunity and we get blanked. Oh my god. Well, there's another walker, so let's go ahead and swing in first. The longer they're able to basically build up their hand, the worse this is. We had the window, and now I'm pretty sure we're gonna lose this one. We had the window of opportunity, now we're just gonna lose, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna resolve that. And then what is it? It's going to, when it enters the battlefield, surveil 4. When you do, you may return non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So let's do this. take out the Dream Eater. Now, it's still going to trigger, which is fine. And we still have mana up to cast the Walker. Though the Walker's not doing us much good unless we get something that can explore. They're going to get to Surveil, which is really bad for us, because it means they're going to be able to stack their deck with counter spells and all the things that they need in order to push through and win this game. I really don't think, despite the life totals, I really don't think we're going to win this game. They're going to have to continue to get the same bad draws that we are if that's going to be the case. And because they get to Surveil, it's going to be so much worse for us. So I'm curious if they're going to be... They must have a counter up for this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we're too far behind now with them being able to stack their deck and get the cards in their hand that they need. Now that, especially now that they can draw cards, yeah, I think this is pretty much over for us. We had a window of opportunity. It's so frustrating sometimes when you're just not able to get the cards when you need them, but that's Magic. That is Magic. So I'm not saying we're dead yet, but we're definitely being shown the coffin in front of us. So we just haven't climbed in quite yet. I really wish each opponent discards a card. Now, this is why I kept the land. This is why I kept the land, in case I had to discard. This sucks so bad. I can't believe this. And another land. Well, okay, I guess we're going to pass the turn. Once again, we had another opportunity where if we drew something off the top. And keep in mind, Militia Bugler put 4 land on the bottom of the deck, and we were still drawing it. So, good game. Because we're dead. Yeah. Yepers. That was honestly a game that we should have won, but sadly we just could not get the cards we needed when we needed them, because we definitely needed a lot of cards, and there were so many that could have helped us out. Dream Eater, yeah, and then they're gonna be able to stack their deck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're screwed. Oh, that was so frustrating. Finally get to play against a blue deck and have a decent opportunity to beat it, and then I mean I can't even complain about blue decks because I love blue. I love playing blue. But we'll see what the next it's another Walker. Like this is the absolute worst draws we could get. Oh my goodness, this is so bad for us. Jumpstart. Get another one out. Pass the turn. Keeping this once again in case we need to discard. He can waste a spell, forcing us to discard thinking we have something in hand. Draw 2 cards. Oh, we're in so much trouble. Swinging with this. Okay, that's fine. We'll get rid of... the Bugler's... Yeah, the Bugler's not doing much good for us, so we'll get rid of the Bugler. Yeah, and this is why we kept that, so... Nothing in hand. Yeah, I mean, we could have had this game, like, 3 times over now. Yeah. So disheartening. It's so disheartening. We need a hell of a card here. Oh, well. Vivian's not the worst one.
Would you like to see
now, do I destroy? Or do I look and... I don't have any more mana, so there's no point in looking, so I'm just going to destroy the creature with flying.
Draw and fire.
So... Oh, there's just like this tiniest glimmer of hope. It's just enough hope to make me think that maybe, but yeah, I mean, the Surveil ability is absolutely incredible because he's stacking his deck each time, making it so that what happens is what he wants to have happen when it comes to the draws. And then Disinformation Campaign is, I mean, luckily we're at this point we're in, oh, okay, well no, now we're gonna have to discard it. Perfect. So, and another bolus. Yep. Yeah. We are 100% bound. Oh, man. See, it wouldn't have been bad if there was, like, we didn't get enough of a start to really do anything. But yeah, I mean, we can play this, but I'm sure it's going to get countered. If this gets countered, we just concede, yeah. So we're just going to say good game to our opponent. And then concede. I mean, that's just the way it works sometimes. We had those windows of opportunity, and that was so... I mean, we could have been ahead of the game. I've never had Bugler whiff before. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. I've never had it so that he doesn't get anything from the deck. And there's a couple times there where it's just... Oh, we could have really used draws other than land, but oh well. I mean, that's just the way, once again, Magic goes. So it's only one loss. We get 3 losses. We're going to continue on. We're going to see if maybe we can improve this a little bit. But yeah, hopefully we're not going to like get blank for the next 2 games. But you know, there's no promises. Yeah, I can keep. This is definitely a keeper because I can get Lionel Warriors out in 1. Yeah, we'll keep this. See what our opponent throws down. They're going to ruin our day or not. Not an island, not a mountain. Okay. We might be able to get through with playing against a black deck, so we'll see what it is. See what their other color is. It'd be cool to play against a mono black deck. I don't see anyone play mono black. Okay, so we might be in a lot of trouble. Oh man. Okay, so throw this down and the wild growth walker. Might as well all attack. Now, if we're able to cast this next turn, boy, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely wonderful. I don't think we're going to be able to, but... Okay. Okay. Bring that out. Enters tapped. Does this resolve? Oh, it does resolve. Okay. Actually, I'm pretty happy to see the land. We definitely need more land, so we're going to attack all. We might have a chance here, folks. We might have a chance here. I always cringe when I see blue. Once again, I have nothing against people who play blue, because I play blue, and I really enjoy playing blue. In fact, if I ever get around to actually fully constructing a deck again, I definitely want to construct a blue deck. And then I can be what I hate, so, you know. So we can Walker again. And then Branch Walker. The double Walker. Let's see. What we don't have. We only have 1 right now. But I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that on top of my library. Might as well. That could be useful for us. I'll just swing in with the Ranger. See if they block. Yep. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We only got 2 cards in the graveyard right now. So I think next turn, maybe the Beast Whisperer. No, actually, maybe I should just get Vivian out when I can. Discovery. Okay, so they're definitely hunting. What are they hunting for? Okay, so I think here we let's swing in first. I can cast Vivian with just, yeah, let's swing in with all 3. Yeah, we'll swing in with all 3. And then we'll try to slam Vivian down. She does resolve. Excellent. So then let's look for something useful. The Ranger, I think, will work for us. Things could turn around. I never get overconfident when things are going well. I mean, they've got 10 life, we've got 27, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. We've got a bigger board state, but they got a lot of mana. We do have Vivian, and Vivian's going to be very, very useful if we can get her to 8. So a couple more turns, and being able to make it so our creatures are indestructible is going to be huge. So I think they're doing some math right now, trying to decide what they can afford to spend as far as their mana goes. Because they only have, because this acts as a blue source as well too, right? But they only have 3 blue sources right now. Hostage taker, okay. Okay. Now they can cast that as well too. Yeah. That's fine. It's not great, but it's okay. Okay, so we'll do Vivian first. See what we can get with her.
Things that would break someone like you.
Another ranger. I think here I want to do this. So I want to be, because I want to be able to draw some cards. And then I want a bugler. I want to be able to see what we can get on top of the deck. Chupacabra. Okay, so this is good. This is good for us. Yep. We will draw that. Okay, so might as well swing in. I mean, they'll probably just trade with the hostage taker. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. They're not going to trade with the hostage taker. Okay. That's fine too. That is fine too. Vivian's at 7, so 2 more turns and we can live in magical Christmas land, so we'll see. We'll see if that happens. Alright, so we'll Vivian first. See what we get.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
I mean, without a walker, the rangers aren't super good, so I'm going to grab a bugler, which will give us a better shot at something. I'm going to then go ahead and try to do the Chupacabra and see if it gets countered. I mean, there should only have mana to be able to counter one thing. Yeah. No, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. And then, do we bugler here? Or do we like... Yeah, let's bugler here. Actually, no, we'll swing in. Combat. And then we'll swing in with those two. I don't necessarily care about losing the Beast Whisperer at this point. I think I need to force damage. So they could double block this, and that's fine. Oh, okay. That surprises me. That for sure they were going to try to take out one of them. Oh, okay. That makes sense. And then we're going to bugler. So, like, as I mentioned at the beginning, switching out the Mentor of the Meeks for the Beast Whisperer has been a huge bonus for this deck. Got Assassin's Trophy. Wow! Okay, so this is the second time now that... Maybe it's because I've mixed some cards in, some extra cards, but honestly, I don't usually whiff with Bugler. So, we do have Assassin's Trophy, which is big for us. Not sure what they have that they can tap out for. They do still have enough up for a counterspell, which is fine. Okay. Yeah, get rid of the Planeswalker. It was at 8. I mean, it would have been great, but, you know, it is what it is. So. So let's do this. Let's put her down and see if it's going to actually resolve. They only got 2 cards left in hand. Okay, so we may actually make it out of this. We're gonna swing in with attack, with those 3. I still have the mana up where I can cast this and then still have up for Assassin's Trophy if I really need it. Okay, so we drew a Chupacabra off of that, which is great. And a land. So, end the turn. There we go. That's another thing, which is... I forgot about that ability. So now we have the Walker back as well, too. So we'll see what happens here. Okay. They draw into solution. Tournament mana cost 3. What's the mana cost of that? Okay, so that will resolve. Oh, tap. So it's not going to destroy that, so let's do that, and then Assassin's Trophy. Okay, good. So I'm glad I remembered to do that, because Land of War Elves would have died and I wouldn't have had the mana to cast the Assassin's Trophy. So now I got rid of their one blocker. So Beast Whisperer and the Discordant should live, and that should be enough for us to win. I beat a deck that plays blue. I'm so happy. I'm so happy about that. Wow, I wasn't expecting to win that one when I saw the island. So I've lost, like I said, I've lost to that type of deck so many times before. So yeah, excellent. That's what happens when you're able to sort of like get things going. And that Beast Whisperer, you got to admit, that was just like drawing cards like mad. So I think that was definitely a good addition to the deck in lieu of Mentor the Meek. Okay, so far we're at 2 wins, 1 loss. I really just want to get to 4 wins because that gets back the gold that I spent to enter the tournament. And as long as I can keep doing that forever, I'll be happy. This is tough. I mean, we have a white source for Bugler. We have a green source that allows us to cast Walker and then Branch Walker, but I hate keeping 2-land hands. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. We don't have to take the 2 extra damage for this because we can't cast anything on turn 1 anyways, so we'll see. This is usually when my opponent plays a mountain and it's red. Oh, okay. So, no, this actually could be a good matchup. I'm still not thrilled that we don't have 3rd land, but this is probably one of the better matchups for us. Oh, no. Oh, it's going to be Merfolk, I'm guessing? I'm guessing it's going to be Merfolk. And now we can put down the Ranger, unless they have a counter. They don't have a counter. Okay. Usually this seems to be, for me, like, whenever it's blue-green, library. Whenever it's blue-green, it usually ends up being Merfolk. For me, anyways, I found. I mean, this could be a completely different deck that I've never encountered before, which would be great, because you play enough of these constructed tournaments, you start seeing the same decks over and over again. That's why it's kind of cool to see a deck that just comes out of nowhere that's completely different. Chart a course. Okay. And I have enough now to bring out another Walker and the Branch Walker. So, pretty good start. Pretty good start. I don't want to get super confident. If they put up another land and don't cast anything, I'm really going to worry about Settle the Wreckage. Okay, so now I don't have to worry about Settle the Wreckage. So here, I'm going to pay the 2 life because I can bring out the Bugler, and then if, what, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so if I can find a Branch Walker off the Bugler, then we win. And we don't. Wow. Really not having the best of luck with that. Swinging with everything. I was really hoping to be able to get the 2 extra counters on the Walkers and just put it away there. Okay. I still don't think this is going to matter. They're going to be able to untap 2 lands, but that's not going to be able to... They can't settle. There are other land answers tapped. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we just go ahead and all attack their face. Was not expecting that. Was not expecting that. Now I really wish I had sent... Well, it wouldn't have mattered, right? Because then even if I had sent a couple there to get rid of that, it wouldn't have mattered. So let's go ahead and...
Balance
Vivian. And we'll grab a Bugler. We should still win this. We should still win this, but...
We need to move quickly.
Teferi is such a good Planeswalker. He is such a good Planeswalker. Okay. I'm still fine with this. Still fine with this. If they have another... I wonder if they have another pause for reflection, which is possible. So let's do that.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
I guess we'll grab a land. Combat. I'm going to do this. To be on the safe side, because I don't want that to live. And then we'll see if they have another one. Another pause for reflection. Settle! Why didn't I think of settle? Take action. Well, at least I'm gonna get the land out of my deck. I was just talking about settle, that I was so worried about settle. I should have held something back. We should still be okay, though. There we go. Alright. So, we're gonna Beast Whisperer. And we're gonna land on our elves. Which is gonna allow us to draw. And we're gonna bring that out. Okay. Settle. Jeez, I don't know why I didn't think of settle. There's been so many games in the past where I was like super worried about settle. Destroy all creatures. It's not great, but I'll live with it. So. Okay, so let's see if we can. Let's do this. Let's Vivian her up.
The wilds are my shield.
Llanowar Elf. Let's Bugler. I want to see if I can force them to counter. Or if I can get them to counter, I should say. Let's take the Walker. Bring out the Walker. I gotta keep a Black Source. And then... bring out the elves. They haven't countered anything yet. It's at 7. I think I have to hold up Assassin's Trophy. Because they have enough to counter it anyways. I don't want to give them a chance to draw, but I'm hoping I can get them to tap out. And then I can cast Assassin's Trophy and get rid of him.
Time for a break.
Okay, so they did that. They're going to draw. Now, at the end of the turn, they're going to be able to draw, or they're going to be able to untap too. I'm hoping they use all their blue sources, so then I can end up using Assassin's Trophy. Okay. So we got Teferi out of the way. They do get to draw a land. Now, they got Nexus of Fate, which sucks. But we may still make it out of this. I can't believe I fell for that wreckage. That settled the wreckage. It's 100% my own fault. Like, 100% my own fault. I don't know how many times I've talked to myself in my head and said, like, don't, you know, be careful to settle the wreckage. And then I went ahead and did it anyways, so. They may have this still. I mean, we may still be able to pull this out of the fire. Depends what they can do. They have settle again. That will suck. Okay, so they're getting rid of that.
More malleable than people think.
Combat. One attacker. This is so annoying. It's so annoying. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, so Teferi is at 2 now. They've used, okay, so yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I may end up I have to swing in. I think I have to swing in here. I don't think I have any choice. Ravenous Chupacabra. Okay, so now what I can do is I can move to combat. Once again, they may have settle. And if they have settle, they have settle. But we got lethal next turn with that as well too. Prevent all combat damage. Okay, that's fine. Definitely could be worse. 2 cards left in hand now. Temple Garden, bring that out just in case. Enters tapped. You wouldn't think normally a game where someone's at 2 and you're at 30 and you're still super worried about losing. Okay, so jump start, so they're still looking, but I mean they're still digging. They're probably trying to do, because I know this is probably one of the combo decks that can go infinite if they can get out Nexus of Fate at the right time and then have the thing that like allowed them to cast everything. I really need to pull a creature here. I really need to pull a creature here. Oh, no, we know it's Vivian. Okay, so we know it's Vivian, so that's good. So they're probably going to counter Vivian in combat. They're going to untap 2. So that should give them plenty of mana to be able to counter Vivian and also then cast Settle. Will they be able to cast Settle if they counter this? Okay, Resolve. Yeah, so they still have mana up to cast Settle. Settle? I'm guessing it's going to be Settle. All that card draw? How do they keep getting that card? Unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
No time for a break.
I can see. For those of you who don't watch any of the, or haven't seen any of the other, okay. Okay. What's he at? He's at 4, so he still can't do his ultimate ability. For those of you who haven't seen the other videos that I've done, a lot of the time I do live paper magic, and I play against Travis, who was one of the founders of Brain Pulp TV. And Travis hates it when I play blue. And I sort of get it. I definitely get it. Because this can be so frustrating. They just keep filling up their hand and filling up their hand. Okay, so that's not great for us. Now it's at 5, so there's no point even me even. I mean, I could try to tap it down a little bit. Resolve. So let's do this. Let's see if this resolves. And I'll bring back those 2. Guessing they're going to counter this. Yeah. Resolve. And I'm going to just attack there and attack there, but I'm going to leave those 2 up. They've got 1 card left in hand now. Well, 2 cards, but I mean, oh god, this is so frustrating at this point. I just need to get the last 2 through. I wish I had burn. Now I wish I had burn. Resolve.
Hurry.
Or a black card that would make them lose life. So they got Settle. That's fine. Oh, so frustrating. They're going to gain life as well, too. Because we know they got Settle in hand, which sucks, but yeah, I think I'm going to lose this now. I got to force them to use Settle. And that's ability is when it gets to 8, right? So 3 attackers, Settle the Wreckage. Yeah, Resolve. Take action. So at least this way we can get some of our land out. So we only got one basic land left? Okay, well, that's it. Do I bring the Chupacabra out? There's nothing really that... this isn't... Yeah, we're gonna bring this out because it's gonna be an extra 2/2 that we can bring out, and they don't have anything that we're gonna be able to attack anyways, right? Yeah, they've won this one. It's so frustrating. I apologize, guys, because I realize this is not probably the most exciting game to watch, but yeah. And then I got Root Snare. Yeah, so
You know what? I'm not done yet.
they're just able to keep doing it until they get their infinite combo. Yeah. Yep. And I don't see us going to be able to resolve another spell. They got Nexus, so they can cast Nexus. And they said good game, yeah, so they've got it. So, that's so frustrating. Like, it's so absolutely painful. His opponent's turn, he's going to plus it.
Keep up the pace.
Yeah, then he's going to be able to do the infinite thing with Teferi. Yeah, there's nothing we can do at this point. I'm guessing they had the other Nexus in hand. We got extremely unlucky with that. I mean, this is, like I said before, the control matchups are not normally good, but in this particular situation, we did have a shot. Swinging in with everything, because I wanted to take out the Planeswalker as well too, instead of holding something back. That might have cost us, but every single other time we were able to swing in, they had the damage shield, so we're just going to concede here. So they had the damage shield. So, I mean, Settle was bad for us, 100% bad for us, and I should have held stuff back, but I don't remember another turn where we were able to actually sort of swing in and not have the damage negated. We were so close. We were absolutely so close. I mean, this is one of the matches where if it's a best 2 out of 3 and you get to sideboard, I don't think you have any trouble with the matchup, because you're able to sideboard in the cards that will sort of put you over the top. There'd be cards where it could be life drain cards or something to get around the fact that you can't do combat damage to them, or simply cards like the I can't remember the name of it now, but the one which will destroy target creature or planeswalker, and then you gain 2 life. Those types of cards are the cards that you would keep in your sideboard for a matchup like this, because this is not an impossible matchup to beat. I beat it just without a sideboard almost. So yeah, it was so close, but sadly, it still counts as a loss. I really, really want to get to the 4 wins. So we're going to move on. We're going to see, hopefully, if we can play something other than blue control and see how we do. Okay, yeah, this is definitely a keep. We can bring this in tap because we don't have anything for turn 1 anyways, and then we can get the walker out on turn 2. Let's, I would take red aggro at this point over blue, another blue deck. So we'll have it enter tapped. So we'll see what it is. Okay, this could be good. This could be fine if it's a deck similar to ours. We may not have as much trouble with it. So it all okay. So yeah. So this this looks like it's going to be a mirror match, or similar to a mirror match. They got their walker. That's fine. Do I want this, or might as well bring this out, right? And just have it enter tapped. Yeah, have this enter tapped, and then we can just bring out one of our branch walkers. That's good. So we don't. Do we have? Oh, we don't. We need still need a second black source. So no attackers. Yeah, we still need a second black source. We really need a second black source badly, but we do have another branch walker, so we might be able to draw into it. Yeah, this is one of the cards I actually thought, Enter the Unknown, I thought of adding into this deck. I wasn't sure if it would work as well, but okay, so next turn we'll be able to get the Discordant out as well too, which is great for us. But for now, we're going to be able to explore again. Hopefully draw into a black source. Okay, Woodland Cemetery. So that's great for us. Still no attacks, though. My biggest fear is that I forget to hit record, so I was just checking to see if I hit record there. Luckily I did. So, of course I hit record. You guys wouldn't be seeing this otherwise, unless it was like a reenactment. So Woodland Cemetery was big for us to be able to pull that, because now we can Ravenous Chupacabra. We can get the other things going later if we want to, but yeah. They do have this in hand, which is going to make this pretty huge, but once again, the Chupacabra should be able to take care of that. I'm curious, maybe they have Chupacabra in hand and they're trying to decide whether... Okay, no, so they're going to do that way. So, yeah, so that's going to get bigger. Yeah, that's right. That's fine. That's fine. Double trigger off that, yeah. Another trigger off that, okay. That's fine. We got... This is dead next turn anyways, so... The more cards they put out in the board, the better for us. Yeah, I'm gonna take the 6. That just only puts us down to 20. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so there, and then we're gonna Chupacabra. So we take care of that. Next turn, we can bring out the Discordant. There's no point in attacking. Yeah, there's no need to attack right now. They got 2 land in hand and then 2 mystery cards. Vivian Reed. Okay, that's fine-ish. That's not great, but it's okay. We do have to get rid of that as quickly as possible, though. So I think next time I'm definitely going to swing in with everything. Let's throw this down, swing in with everything, get rid of Vivian. Done. That's fine. Okay, so at least we know, like, their entire hand. Oh, we don't actually have to do that now. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't cast both that and Assassin's Trophy. I'll take Casualties this way. They have 3 blockers up. No, I think what we have to do... I think we have to do it this way. I probably should have played that one instead. We're going to bring this out. And then we're going to swing everything against the Planeswalker. Then we'll have Assassin's Trophy in hand because I can get rid of the Planeswalker by attacking. I don't really have a way of getting rid of this with the exception of Assassin's Trophy at this point. And if we lose creatures, that's fine because then we can use Gruesome Menagerie and bring them back out. And those are like some great creatures to be able to do that with. Actually, I can do that this turn. So hopefully, all they'll do is they'll cast this. And then I'm going to Gruesome Menagerie and then things will be really in our favor. So, okay, so they got a Walker. Okay, so they're going to bring that out. That's fine. Okay, so this is good. This is, and now you get to see why I really love having Gruesome Menagerie in this deck. Are they going to bring out the Walker as well, too? They might bring out the Walker. That's fine. They bring out the Walker. Pay 2 and Surveil. They're looking for the right creature, I guess, for Vivian to bring out. I mean, they got the life to spend as well, so why not? Okay. Okay, so Gruesome Menagerie is going to cost 5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. So what I'm going to do... Okay, Thousand Eye is great too. I'm going to take the 2 life. I'm going to Gruesome Menagerie and make sure I'm leaving... I am leaving a black source and a green source up. Okay, so... Now, I can't bring the Chupacabra back because it's 4 cost, which is unfortunate. But this will definitely come out. Right, okay. And then Assassin's Trophy. Him. And then we're going to swing in. Okay, so if we do this... and they block anything, it dies still. And then we're going to go ahead and swing in face there, right? So, yeah, if they block the 2, they're still going to take... It's still going to take 3, and Vivian's still going to die, so 4 attackers, yeah. Yeah, for a while there with
You've got claws.
Gruesome Menagerie, I was thinking I'd be able to bring out the Chupacabra, but I forgot it's a 4-cost creature. But we're still pretty good for the board state right now. And we can bring out Thousand Eye, which is going to allow us to draw some cards. So I'm pretty happy about that. This might be a bit of a problem, but I'm not super worried about it. I'm especially not worried about it when you just luck sack and then top deck the exact card that you'd want at that particular point. So yeah, that helps as well too. And we get the win out of that. Now that was an extremely lucky top deck. And once again, with the Gruesome Menagerie, for some reason I was thinking I'd be able to get the Chupacabra out, so I thought I was going to be able to get both a trigger off the Walker and be able to destroy one of their creatures. But we still had Assassin's Trophy in hand. I was able to keep up the right mana for it, which is something I don't always do. And we were able to get the win. So we're now at 3 wins. So we're 1 away. We're 1 away from where I actually want to be in this tournament. We've only got 1 loss left to knock us out. So I guess this is going to be a pretty deciding game. We'll get to it right now. Okay, so, yeah, we can definitely keep this. You know what the weird thing... Well, okay, we have several creatures that are going to be able to explore for us. We don't have the double green yet for the Beast Whisperer, but we do have double black, which a lot of the time ends up being more important. So yeah, we're going to keep this. We're going to play the Swamp first, because this comes in tapped. Unless you control either a Swamp or a Forest. And I want to... Next turn I'm going to play the Forest anyways and play Branch Walker. Oh, no. No. Be Merfolk. Be Merfolk, because Merfolk is actually something I have a decent chance of defeating. So we'll bring you out, and then this. I always sort of somewhat prejudge what the opponent is playing based on their avatar, and I know he's colorless, but I still associate him with blue. So we'll... I mean, I don't have the double green, right? Oh, I do have the double green now. Yeah, so that can go on our library, because that could be very, very useful for us, so. Scry, okay, yeah, and this is... I'm assuming this is a control deck. Oh, no! This might be... Okay, so this is by no means much better for us, because Izzet is not usually good against this, or Izzet is usually quite good against this deck as well, too. But I would rather see blue-red than blue-white at this point. Shock. Okay, that's fine. Resolve that. And then we got damage. Bring out the Ranger. I wouldn't even mind drawing another land off of this right now. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. So we're going to keep this for the Drake, which is inevitably going to hit the board at some point. Yeah, that can stay on the library. We don't have enough to cast them both next turn, but I think I'm going to try casting Beast Whisperer next turn anyways. Okay, chart a course. So now it's a race. It's definitely a race at this point. Combat. All attack. Damage. Alright, now, I'm going to bring out Beast Whisperer, because we know it's not going to get countered. It could get burned out right away. That's fine. Because if we catch another land... actually, we need another land that's green, a green source. Then we can bring out both the Walker and then the Ranger next turn. Gain a bunch of life, draw some cards. So we'll see. We'll see how well that works out for us. Okay, so there's the... Okay, actually, that's one of the best things that could have happened if they tapped out. Because if we do catch that land... We do not catch that land. So instead, I'm going to bring out the Walker and then Assassin's Trophy that. Okay, so we do... well, okay. We do have another source, but I'm going to go ahead and Assassin's Trophy this now, and then swing in for 6. Get another... Let me try that again. They get an additional land, but I'm not super worried about that at this point, because we're building a bit of a board state. I say this all the time. I've lost in better positions before, so I'm not getting overconfident. Okay, that's fine. We also have Find, which is going to be able to grab cards back from our graveyard if we need them. Okay. Please don't have 2 cheap spells. Just have 1. Just have 1 spell at this point. Tormenting Voice. Okay, that's really good for us. Because nothing here trades, even if they double block. So that's really good for us. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and bring this out. And we have another... We have... Yeah. Okay, so we have Temple Garden as well, too. I mean, that draws us a card. So maybe it's not, but I'm going to put that in the graveyard because it's going to make Thousand Eyed better. And I think I want the extra green source. So this is, I mean, there's nothing else we're going to cast right now. So I'm just going to, that's going to enter tapped and then combat, and we're going to attack all. So they can chump, and then they can use this to definitely block. And we put them down to 8. Yeah, there's no point to me finding finality or finding anything right now, so we're just going to pass the turn. This is such a good card. This is actually a buddy who also worst time talking ever. A buddy who's also a content creator as well too. Luke from Couch Troll Brewing. He has built a deck very similar to this, and he uses the Murmuring Mystic. And I really want to play a deck that uses the Murmuring Mystic on camera at one point. So now I can get rid of this. I could put 2 counters. How can I do this? Because I could find a finality, or could finality the part of this, but instead I think I'm going to... Let's do this. Let's Bugler and then draw a card. Okay, so the Branch Walker, which is great for us because it's going to gain us more life and it's going to make this even bigger. And another Bugler. But we're going to go ahead and Branch Walker instead of Bugling. Okay, and then that's going to grow. So now this actually, I mean, sadly it trades with this, but it is what it is. I can use Find to grab stuff back. So combat. And we're just going to attack all. Because he can't block, he can't use the Drake to block either of these, because then he'll lose the Drake. He can take the Beast Whisperer as well too, because I can gain it back with this. So I'm not worried about that either. And I think here, I mean, I may need this to take out the creatures. I don't think I will. So I think I'm just going to go and, like, what do we have in the graveyard? We have Branch Walker and then Beast Whisperer. I think I'll take those two. Yeah, I'm going to do this. And the Branch Walker. So I can Beast Whisper, then draw some extra cards. Okay, so he's opting. It's fine. Part of me was thinking maybe keep that for finality so that I can get rid of the bird, but I do have other ways of removing stuff, and I'm going to be able to cast, like, Militia Bugler and stuff, so I might be able to draw into the Chupacabra, for example. And he constantly has to keep up things to block. I mean, the Murmuring Mystic is a great blocker, and it has that great upside as well, too. Okay, so the Drake. That's fine. Draw 2 cards. So almost tapped out, but not quite. So they're creating a bunch of chump blockers. I don't think he can afford to swing in with the Crackling Drake right now. Okay, so they're definitely hunting, which is good for us. So he's going to swing in with the Drake. Okay, this is fine. So let's bring out that. Now, what can I end up casting? I can cast this and a Bugler. Actually, might as well cast the Branch Walker. No, let's cast the Branch Walker. That makes more sense. So I'll draw a card. I'll have 2 up. Okay, so Jadelight Ranger, so that's going to give me a bunch of extra life as well too. Put that in the library. And then attack all again, I think? So 1, 2, 3. He's got a bunch of the chump blockers here. I think I have to all attack, yeah. Because he doesn't want to lose one of his drakes. It's the only thing that would be able to deal with this. The ranger, that's fine. I mean, I really just need to draw into some removal, and then everything should be fine. But I need to keep pressure up on him. And I can't allow him to continually get, like, keep his chump blockers around, because I need to be able to sweep by with some damage soon. Okay, so he can do 18. Oh, he's got it now, doesn't he? Oh, man. I really should have finality'd. So there you go, folks. Sadly, we are not going to be able to hit those 4 all-important wins in order to break even as far as the entry fee for the tournament goes. But still, had a lot of fun. The games that we did lose, for the most part, were fairly close. Some of them, you know, it can go either way sometimes. There was a little bit of bad luck. I know I definitely made a couple of bad plays here and there. But yeah, at least they were close. So I do think this deck has a lot of promise. I think next time I do this, I may try to do the competitive constructed, which would allow me to have best 2 out of 3s. So I can start building a sideboard along with this deck that can hopefully put me over top of some of those matchups that weren't quite favorable. But still, with this tournament, we did end up getting 400 gold, and we definitely got a mythic here. So let's open up the cards that aren't mythics. And then we'll see what card we did get this mythic, and it's Dire Fleet Ravager. Okay, so yeah, not exactly a card I would normally play, but who knows, maybe in the future I'll get the Brewing Bug again, and maybe I'll build a deck around it. Or just build a blue deck, so I can become that filthy, filthy blue player that you know, I do understand people who hate playing against blue. It is a rough color to have a matchup against a lot of the time, but I can't fault people for playing blue, because I play blue too, and I really enjoy it. And the counterspell aspect of it, and the bounce aspect of it, that's sort of blue's strengths. Each color has their own strengths. So yeah, who knows? Maybe in the future, I'll play a blue deck. Maybe I'll play an Izzet deck, very similar to what my opponent had in the last game there. Who knows? But one thing I do know for sure is that I'm going to be doing more of these constructed tournaments. I'm going to be trying to post more Magic Arena videos. Now, this one, once again, was sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. The ones you'll probably see from me in the future are not going to be sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. I'm just really enjoying Magic Arena. I still definitely want to do a draft at some point. Also, I am going to be doing streaming in December. I've decided I've been wanting to do streaming for a long time. I'm going to start that in December. I'm going to stream some Magic, of course, because that's what the channel is known mostly for. But I do want to sort of branch out and do other games as well, too, on streams. But definitely Magic Arena is going to be one of the games I'm going to play. I would love it if I could do some live action Magic on stream as well, too, or some other board game, because we do that here on the channel as well. But yeah, that is something I'm going to be doing. And when I do, I'm going to have some packs to give away, some Magic Arena packs for Guilds of Ravnica. So I'm going to do a vlog video sometime in the next week, letting you guys know how you'll be able to get your hands on some of the packs which Wizards of the Coast was kind enough to give me codes for, and then you guys will be able to get a couple of extra cards in your collection in Magic Arena as well. For now though, that is it for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or advice, please leave that in the comment section below. Once again, another shout out to Wizards of the Coast and Michelle. Thank you guys so much for making me one of your featured creators this week. I hope I did you guys proud with this particular video, even though I only managed to get 3 wins, sadly. But still, I tried my best, and that's, you know, part of Magic as well, too. So take care, everyone. Thank you so much for all the support you guys show the channel. It's been absolutely wonderful, especially in the past few months. It's completely blown me away. Have a wonderful day, night, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. May all your pulls be mythics, and I'll see you all again very soon.